Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Then returned they unto Jerusalem from the mount called Olivet, which is from Jerusalem a Sabbath day's journey. And when they were come in, they went up into an upper room, where abode both Peter and James and John and Andrew, Philip and Thomas, Bartholomew and Matthew, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon Zelotes.
From the upper rivers beyond, what they beyond, distinguishing the light seekers from the peon. Ron, say it on us, lay upon us, knowledge that is eons. Old has it been told since the days of old, and I sit watching the story unfold. Yeshua gave us the code, gave us the name, kept the Maui Haile Selassie, the first will reign, the opener of the book of the seven seals. It's time for the gathering, it's the latter end, no, not the Vatican. Christ in his kingly character, we on that again. I'ma keep speaking the scriptures until I'm out of wind. Built on the true foundation, there's no shaking. There's no need of you hating, stop hesitating. How many of you have been waiting? In the upper room, we meeting in the upper room of Zion.
These all continued with one accord in prayer and supplication with the women and Mary the mother of Jesus and with his brethren. And when they were come in, they went up into an upper room. They went up into an upper room.
The upper room. The upper room.
Psalm 81.
מזמור פ/א למנצח על הגיטית לאסף.
Sing aloud unto God our strength.
עוזנו, הרנינו לאלוהים עוזנו.
Make a joyful noise unto the God of Jacob.
לאלוהי יעקב, הריעו לאלוהי יעקב.
Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the God of Jacob. This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were delivered from the pots. Thou calledst in trouble, and I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah. Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee. O Israel, if thou wilt hearken unto me. There shall no strange God be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any strange God. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him. Their time should have endured forever. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, with honey out of the rock. Should I have satisfied.
מזמור פ/א למנצח על הגיטית לאסף. הרנינו לאלוהים עוזנו, הריעו לאלוהי יעקב. שאו זמרה ותנו תוף, כינור נעים עם נבל. תקעו בחודש שופר, בכסה ליום חגנו, כי חוק לישראל הוא משפט לאלוהי יעקב, עדות בהוסף שמו, בצאתו על ארץ מצרים, שפת לא ידעתי אשמע. הסירותי מצבל שכמו, כפיו מדוד תעבורנה. בצרה קראת ואכלתך, אענך בסתר רעם, אבחונך על מי מריבה סלע. שמע עמי ואעידה בך, ישראל אם תשמע לי, לא יהיה בך אל זר, ולא תשתחווה לאל נכר. אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך, המעלך מארץ מצרים, ארחב פיך ואמלאהו. ולא שמע עמי לקולי, וישראל לא אבה לי. ואשלחהו בשרירות ליבם, ילכו במועצותיהם. לו עמי שומע לי, ישראל בדרכי יהלכו, כמעט אויביהם אכניע, ועל צריהם אשיב ידי. משנאי אדוני יכחשו לו, ויהי איתם לעולם. ויאכילהו מחלב חיטה, ומצור דבש אשביעך, 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 אשביעך.
My advice to all is to fulfill the Ten Commandments.
Psalm 81.
מזמור פ"א למנצח על הגיתית לאסף, 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 לאסף.
Sing aloud unto God our strength.
עוזנו, 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 עוזנו. הרנינו לאלוהים עוזנו, 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 עוזנו.
Make a joyful noise unto the God of Jacob, God of Jacob, God of Jacob.
לאלוהי יעקב, לאלוהי יעקב, לאלוהי יעקב. הריעו לאלוהי יעקב, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי יעקב.
Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the God of Jacob. This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were delivered from the pots. Thou calledst in trouble, and I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah. Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee. O Israel, if thou wilt hearken unto me. There shall no strange God be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any strange God. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him. But their time should have endured forever. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied, 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 I have satisfied.
If the Yahweh, he who be the light in us, then he will bring us I into this land, and give it to us, and give it to I, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye, y'all, against the Yahweh, he who be, neither fear y'all the people of the land.
Rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord. A land which floweth with milk and honey. 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 In us, then he will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Through to search it is an exceeding good land. Through to search it is an exceeding good land. Through to search it is an exceeding good land.
If the Yahweh, he who be, delight in us, then he will bring us, I into this land, and give it us, and give it to I, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye, y'all, against the Yahweh, he who be, neither fear y'all the people of the land. For
if the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, but a land which floweth with milk and honey. A land which floweth with milk and honey. He will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. He will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Is an exceeding good land. Is an exceeding good land. Is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not. And all the congregation bade stone them with stones. The glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me, for all the signs which I have showed among them? To Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me, for all the signs which I have showed among them? And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me, for all the signs which I have showed among them? I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moses said unto the Lord, Then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy mouth. How long will this people provoke me? And how...
My advice to all is to fulfill the Ten Commandments.
Bring forth milk and honey, don't stop. Yes, right here, the Thursday podcast, right here, Upper Room of Zion, the Thursday podcast. We have today's daily psalm. Interesting, we have Psalm 42, touch on Psalm 43, according to the royal order, first light. And here we have Psalm 42. It's going to be interesting, brothers and sisters. But right here, when I ask the question, were the 10 Commandments mistranslated in the Bible? Is there a mistranslated idea that concerns what is called the 10 Commandments? Stay tuned. Gonna bring it forward. But here, today's daily psalm.
Bowling again, Shalom Chavarim. Here we have today's daily psalm. We have
Psalm 42.
תהילים ספר שני מזמור מ"ב למנצח משכיל לבני קורח.
As the hart panteth after the water brooks,
כאייל תערוג על אפיקי מים.
so panteth my soul after thee, O God, O God, O God.
כן נפשי תערוג אליך אלוהים, 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 אלוהים.
My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God, thy God, thy God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance.
Elohai, Elohai, Elohai.
O my God, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan and of the Hermonites, from the hill Mizar. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Yet the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayer unto the God of my life. I will say unto God my rock, Why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones, mine enemies reproach me, while they say daily unto me, Where is thy God? Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance, and my God, 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 my God.
Here, now forget the Levi. Papa Levi right here, me God, me King. Yes, sir.
Yeah. In smoking sense a million. You gotta give thanks and praise unto the Almighty Lord Jah. Oh yeah. Do it, Jah. Murder. Making up, him name Jehovah, Jaman me God, making up, him name Jehovah. Him inspire me to be a mic chanter. Me mark with the mic round the amplifier. Me fling with the slackness and no one culture. The conscious lyrics and go hear me utter. So if you are an adult or a teenager, say every day you wake you feel read a chapter. Beginning of wisdom is the fear of Jah. The bottomless pit make we throw Lucifer. They take way we gold and them take me silver. Them hang me poopa and rape me mother. Then ship me from the wonderful land of Africa. The slave did the plantation owner. They take way we name them and them call we nigga. The fungo we no eyes to combination. They tell we say we ignorant and inferior, and all them intelligent and superior to the complexion of them skin color. But I as a youth born as a super, the better than the bite from a tarantula. You hear the bite come to the speaker, but it sounds sweeter with the echo chamber. The R for the root, C for the culture, the S for the last, the earth rifle ruler. The ones as a lamb going to the slaughter. Now the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. You can't enter Zion with a bushmaster, a M16 or a revolver. Set on a Babylon with your ammunition, cause they don't have the ultimate destruction. Pope and Levi on the version, Hail Jamana, and Levi on the version. Come here, Jaman the cool, not stop like you. Me one for the street, no go on for food. I ride for the dance, they make me too. If I deal with sitting on stool, no black, me brown, no black, me rib to me chest, me spine, me back. Chose up, pocket up, flap with soul of rock, but ready me shot. Cap on a buck, the buck on a cap on the back of my beard, and table at top. We ask no cold, let cold, no ask electricity, can be a shot. Shopping for the mouth, no grip for no rat. Down for the bottom, we reach to the top. He don't snap, the cross of the pop, me roll to the side, if we cut the crap. Me hungry again, me no eat a snack, come from ya youth, me no score no fat. Give me a dread, me edit no plot, no live in a house, me live in a flat. Lot of year when this rhythm drop, Your head, your toe, your body, your rock from me for the mic, the lyric attack, put back, back, I'm a cut up a top. Upcall and up the iron I spot. Think I'm a trouble, John, I'm turning back, me praise the Jah. Me never will stop who worship, face and a foolish idiot. You have blood red, the devil cannot. Who get a bullet, no miss after that. After Rick and Puppy fire shot, Malcolm X take it on the spot. Up in a Zion, the righteous are top. Down in a hell, the wicked are rap. The sweetest singer, a sugar miner. The mother's comedian, a Kenny Everett. Jackal a turn in a vampire back, but when him see son, him can't say that. You guide them that the youth can talk, but I'm on the mic, is leave a chat. Not so long, I walk on the land. The beast, the righteous, as the man. Shot the Maccabee 9 and preaching love to man and woman. Crucified by the Roman, they did it to cross, we put on a man. Rise again, the resurrection, with a him create the earth and heaven. 660 and not 27. Give riches to King Solomon, make him wiser than all other man. He's gonna make without Saddam. Living in Babylon as a black man with arm, the fear, the ritualism. When me weak, then said I'm strong. When me right, then said I'm wrong. Who me not check the politician, no care who win the election. Band the mic, me please everyone. Flashing down, style of fashion, me God, me king, him name Jehovah. Me God, me king, him name Jehovah. Yes, it inspire me to be a mic chanter. Me march with the mic round the amplifier. Me play with the sadness and our culture. Me can't just lyrics here, but hear me butter. So if you are a adult or a teenager, every day you read the chapter.
Yes. Papa Levi right there for classic. Me God, me King, him name Jehovah Yahweh. So here, 45th degree of sabbatical study here in Devarim. In the Hebrew, that's the code right there, Ha Devarim. Literally, it's words, but in the Torah context for the 10, what's known as the 10 words. In the Hebrew, the Eseret Ha Devarim. In the Royal Amharic, Aserte Kalat, Aserte, Aser, 10, Aserte Kalat. The good is construction right there in the King of Kings Bible. And we know here in the translation often they will say as the 10 commandments, but it's the Decalogue. In the Greek, they call it the Deca. Deca is 10, logos, logia, words, 10 words. So is the 10 commandments, is it a mistranslation? Miscontextualization, like to zoom in on this right here. Here, this 45th degree of our sabbatical study for Vaetchanan. And I pleaded, I besought Moshe, he pleaded, he besought Yahweh to rescind his word that him and his brother already passed, but he kept pleading and pleading. He's narrating here to a new generation. Here in the 5th book of Moses, right here, we get Moshe narrating to a new generation all the trials and tribulation, the wilderness trod of their forefathers. So right here, give ear.
My advice to all is to fulfill the 10 commandments.
אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך, לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי. לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא. זכור את יום השבת לקדשו. כבד את אביך ואת אמך. לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב. לא תענה ורעך עד שקר. לא תחמוד בית רעך.
So right there in the Hebrew, the 10 words right there. So here, the audible here for this sabbatical study, this Shabbat Strong, and here, especially in the 5th book right here, as we kind of seal up, we go over here in the Mishnah Torah, the repetition of the directions, instructions here, 45th degree. Here this
sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat Strong.
In the 5th book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that's known as Devarim in the ancient Hebrew, Devarim. Modern Hebrew, they would enunciate as Devarim. Now, what does Devarim mean? They mean the words. The words. The classic Rastafari roots, Rastafari tune by Prince Farai. Every time I hear the word, right? The words. These are the words. Eile ha-debarim. These are the words. This is how the 5th book of Moshe called Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy, which basically means the repetition of the law, the repetition of the words. Hebraically, we know this as the Mishneh HaTorah. Now, coming from the Koine, the common, the Greek, the Koine Greek, the Greek that the Black Yehudi, the Jews spoke and speak in that particular time of the Messiah, Yeshua Ha-Adon, Adonenu, Yeshua Ha-Moshiach. That is the Greek that they spoke, the common, the Koine Greek. Now, some would say, oh, woo, it's Greek, but then you speak English. We speak English. But we're seeking to communicate the ancient truths. All right? So here making reference to the Hebrew. The Hebrew is Mishneh HaTorah. Mishneh HaTorah, what does that mean? It's a copy of HaTorah. What is Torah? Often ones will say that Torah is law. Hebraically from Yara, it means like to point, to direct, to point out, to aim in that sense. You're getting into like the Hebrew roots of it. So a better English interpretation or maybe even translation of Torah would be directions, instructions. We as the Rastafari Order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, the Royal Order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, representing the Israelites of that biblical country where it says Aim Kush with Ethiopia, Ze Yulad Sham, that this man was born there, that prophecy that we have in Psalm 87 verse 4. Also we have Psalm 68:31. Princes shall come out of Egypt, Ethiopia shall stretch forth our hands to God. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Yisrael? So here, we are in the fifth and the final book of HaTorah, the final book of Yahweh, Jehovah's instructions, Hashem's instructions, directions. Give us a teaching of His majesty, because we don't want no devil's philosophy. We don't need no Babylonian laws. It's the 10 words, that are known as the 10 Commandments. So what are the 10 words, and why are the 10 words often called pseudonymously, right, somewhat falsely named, but this is what is popular in the Western Gentile world? We get to know this as the 10 Commandments, even though 10 Commandments in that particular wording does not appear in the Masoretic, in the script. It does not appear in the biblical Hebrew. Neither does it appear in the biblical, the Ethiopic, the Ge'ez, or in the authorized, revised Amharic Bible, the Book of the Seven Seals of Moa Anbesas, Negeda Yehuda, the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, according to Revelation 5:5. This is why we emphasize that it is the 10 words. 10 words. Now, if you look up within even the interlinear Bibles, and perhaps we need to go there right here, because the question is, well, what are the 10 words? The 10 words, falsely called, pseudonymously called the 10 Commandments. And why are they important, especially to the called, chosen, and the faithful Rastafari? And as a sub, we could say a sub routine, a sub point is, were they taken from the 42 negative confessions of Nebseni in ancient Egypt? No, they wasn't. A confession and a commandment, or commandments, is two different things. And if you don't know that, you need to stop, pause, and get a definition of a confession. What is a confession? And what is a commandment? Do not confuse a commandment with a confession. Point, all right? Point blank, period. Do not confuse the two. They are two different. But what are the 10 words? What are the 10 Commandments? So here in Debarim, ancient Hebrew, Debarim,
Modern latter-day Hebrew is enunciated as devarim. But debar means word and to speak. In the ancient Hebrew, debar means word and to speak. So here, let's look this up right here, right? And we're going to make the connection also to the teaching of His Majesty. You know, the proof positive that Gormawi Kadamawi Haile Selassie is the Black Messiah upon the throne of great King David, and that Solomonic dynasty in the highlands based on those Israelites in and of Ethiopia, the Israelites. Right? We're not speaking of the latter-day Jews or Ashkenazi Jews or other, you could say, white European Jews, because of the original. And even if a so-called archbishop, right, or one out of Ethiopia nowadays in the apostasy says otherwise, that the Jews are white people, he is either misled or he is one is misled. But then if one is misled in such a position, then woyo, we have to then quote the prophecy that we have in Zephaniah 2:12. Ye Ethiopians also shall be slain by my sword, because His Majesty's advice to all is to fulfill the 10 commandments, pointing to these, the 10 words. What are the 10 words? What are the 10 commandments? Every time I hear the word, right? So here. My advice to all is to fulfill the 10 commandments. The words of Gormawi, Kadamawi, Haile Selassie, the words of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I. So in the Royal Amharic, in the 1961 Authorized Revised Amharic Bible, the authorized, the official 1961, and this is that book that we have made mention of in Revelation 5:5. Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. So in the Royal Amharic, we have the phrase Asertun Kalat. Asertun 10 Kalat. Kalat is words. In the Hebrew, we have Eseret HaDebarim. Eseret HaDebarim, or some might say the Eseret HaDevarim. We have the 10 words. The 10 words, also called the 10 Commandments. Now, it's interesting right here at the top, right here on this particular meme, this pic that is in circulation. You can look it up by looking up 10 Commandments Hebrew. And yes, look up 10 Commandments, because many ones knowingly know what they know, but this is how it has gotten to be, you could say, known or called in the Western world. Now, people say, well, it's the same thing. What's the difference? There is a big difference between 10 Commandments and 10 words. Here, the Hebrew underneath, it says, Seret, Seret, reading from right to left, Ha-di-b-rot. Now, a lot of the Jews like to say Dibarot. Dibarot is like the feminine form of Debarim, Ha-Debarim. But what does Ha-Torah, what does the Torah say? Remember, we're going to touch on what these 10 words, the 10 words, just to boil it down simply as possible. The 10 words are the 10 articles of one command. What we have in Exodus, firstly in Exodus chapter 20, is one command. That one command, what was first given to the B'nai Yisrael, to the sons, the children of Israel, were 10 words. And these 10 words comprise one command, one pure, perfect will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem, of the Holy One. Blessed be He, blessed be the name. So let's go into the scripts right here. Do we have 10 commandments in the Bible? All right, so let's let's look this up right here. We'll look it up with you. We're using my sword right here. You can use other interlineal Bible. There's free software you can download, and you can also have the software. So here we look up 10 commandments, the word 10 and commandments. All right, now here the first mention that sort of is like it, but here it says written. That's not what we're looking for right here, but just looking and noting this, Exodus 24 and 12, and it says, and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Yahweh Jehovah said to Moshe, come up to me into the mount and be there, and I will give thee tables or tablets of stone, and a law and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. So here's one of the first words here that we find in a basic KJV search. Let's go to the next one. Okay, let's scroll that back right there. Okay, here we go. Let's just get this once again. Okay, here we go right here. Okay, 10 Commandments, the next. Here we go. Boom. Now someone said, boom. You see right there in Exodus 34:28, it says the 10 Commandments. Well, if you base it just on English, on a translation, you're putting a whole lot of faith in the translators right there, and seeing that we have the available resources just to fact check. So let's fact check this 1611 translation. First, let's just read the Peshat, the plain English. And he was there with Yahweh, with Jehovah, 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables or the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments, what KJV says. Note this right here. Next to the words, it says the H1697. H1697. Do you notice that that's the same hyperlink numbering, Strong's Concordance numbering next to commandments? That should tell you something right there, right? Because if we go over here, right, and we see this right here, notice the word commandment there. The word commandment in the first place, we have Exodus 24 and 12. Clicking on the H4687, we have mitzvah. Mitzvah, the ancient Hebrew, modern Hebrew, mitzvah. They say mitzvah, do a mitzvah, right? But in the true ancient Hebrew, the real ancient Hebrew, mitzvah, right? And mitzvah is a commandment. Go down here, right here. It's from the H6680 in the Strong's Concordance. That is from tzawa, modern Hebrew, tzava, ancient Hebrew, tzawa. Right? Tzawa is to command, to charge. Let's get down to the Strong's definition. To constitute, to enjoin, to appoint, to bid, to charge, to give a commandment, give in commandment, send with commandment, command, commander, commandment, send a messenger, put, set in order. That is the idea of the tzawa, ancient Hebrew, tzava. Now we have mitzvah. Mitzvah is command. So what does this first entry in Exodus 34:28 actually say? So we're on view more. Clicking on view more right here, and we're going to compare the verse to bring up the Hebrew. We have the unpointed Aleppo, the BBE, these are different translations, Easy English, right? The HB, the HBPD, the unpointed HEBM, then the HGPD. Let's go down here to, you see the KJV? We're going to go all the way down here to the Tanakh, right? So here's the Tanakh, right? As many point to this as a good point of reference, right? Somewhat authoritative. Why he, it says, why he and be Sham, be there, im Yahweh, with Jehovah. Why he, Sham, im Yahweh, be there and be there with Jehovah. Arba'im, right? 40 yom, 40 day, with Arba'im and 40 laila. Lechem, bread, lo akal, Lachem lo akal, lo akal. Bread lo no akal. No, he did not eat. U mayim, and water lo shata, lo shata. And he did not drink mayim. He did not drink water. And here, next line. Why yikatov, some would not say why yikatov, modern Hebrew, why yikatov, reya ha berita esareta ha debarim. So that last line, right, the last two lines you see right here, reading from right to left in the Tanakh, that's the verse from Exodus Shemot 34:28. It says, Wayiktob, and he wrote, Wayiktob al ha-luchot, and he wrote on the tablets, the luchot. Wayiktob al ha-luchot, eta divrei, the words, ha-birit, the words of the berit, the words of the covenant, Eita divreya ha brita esareta ha debarim. Here's the words right here. This is the words right here. And this is not in Hebrew. This is 10 words. 10 words. It doesn't say esareta ha mitzvot. If it said esareta ha mitzvot, remember mitzvah, mitzvot, that is commandments, mitzvot, plural. Mitzvot, plural of mitzvah, commandment. Here it says, Eseret ha-debarim. Modern Hebrew, Eseret ha-devarim. The 10, Eseret ha, definite article, the debarim, the words, the 10 words. Let's go down here, right here, right, to the breakdown of the Tanakh, right here. And you can see here for the breakdown of the Tanakh, the H6235. Clicking on that, we have Eser, two forms of it, Eser, Asara, right, which is 10. That's what it means, 10. Accumulation, as in accumulation to the extent of the digits. Some say to the extent of the fingers, the digits, digital, finger. In fact, even in Latin, it's the digits is where we get the word for digital, and that means finger, right, the 10. Right, so we have that there, and then the H60, the H6235 is 10, and the next word, the H1697, ha-debarim, comes from dabar. Dabar in the ancient Hebrew, ancient pointing, modern pointing, debar, right? Debar means speech, word, speaking, thing, or thing, or ting, if you please. Speech, saying, utterance, word or words. If it's dabar, it's like a word. Debarim is, and you note that it's debarim, it's not dibrot. Modern Yehudi, modern Jews often say eseret ha-divrot. Dibrot is the feminine sense, but that's not what's written. It's written in the masculine sense, ha-debarim, chabarim. It can also, debar refers to business, occupation, acts, matters. Like we say, what's the word? Like, what's the matter? Not always say, like, what's wrong, but what is the matter? What's the word? Speak to me. Dabar. Right? Dabar. Right? Here we have Strong's definition from the H1696. So we have dabar, and it comes from the H1696. Click on that right there. Dabar. Now, what's the difference between these two? Dabar, the first one is as a noun, dabar. The second one, dabara, means to speak. So the root here is the verb, to speak. To speak, to declare, to converse, to command. In a sense, it can mean to promise, it can mean to warn, it can mean to also to threaten and to sing. Depends on the context. As you can see, there's different forms of the Hebrew. There's the kal form, to speak. There's a nephal form, to speak with. one another, like to talk, to chat. There's the PL sense, to speak, to promise, the Puel sense, to be spoken, the Hita Pa'el sense, to speak, and the Hifil sense, to lead away, to put to flight. That's a different context. So this word depends on what's the context. What's the context of the text, right? So here, from the Strong's definition, it's getting to the roots, the primitive root, perhaps they say properly to arrange, but used in a figurative sense of words to speak. Now, rarely, note this right here, rarely there's a sense of the word dabar that can be in a destructive sense, which means to subdue, with words, to speak, to answer, to appoint, to bid. Now, all of these right here in the Strong's is not necessarily just the meaning, it's how this word may be found in the various areas of the Hebrew Bible, what's often called the Tanakh, right? Of the Hebrew, the Brit Yeshana, the Old Testament was referred to the Hebrew Bible. This is called the Hebrew Bible right there. But here's the point right here. The point is that even though in Exodus chapter 34 and 28 in the English of verse 28 of Shemot, Exodus chapter 34, it says the 10 Commandments. You'll notice that the word for words, the H1697, and the word for commandment is also the H1697. It's not mitzvah, so it's not commandment, right? So that's the first place right there, right? The first place. Here, let's go on right here. Where else do we have the 10 Commandments written right here? Here we have Deuteronomy. Look at Deuteronomy. And this is where we're at even in this current Torah portion right here. Deuteronomy 4 and 13. And he declared to you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. Note that it's the same H1697, which is Dabar. Dabar, not mitzvah, not mitzvah, right? And he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. Let's bring this up right here. Let's compare. Let's go all the way down here to the Tanakh, right? The Tanakh, right? And here it says, Vayagid lachem et berito asher tziwa etekem la isota isareta hadebarim vayikatevem ala shnei lochota ibani. Basically, it's a good basic translation, right? It's a good basic translation. And he declared Vayagid, from Yagid Agad, to speak, to declare, Vayagid lachem, and he declared to you at the Berito, declared to you Berito, his covenant, Asher Tziwa, that which Tziwa, he commanded Etekem, commanded to all of y'all, speaking directly to you all, to the B'nai Yisrael, to the Israelites, and to I and I. La isot, right, to do, la isot, asher tziwa etekem la isot, that he commanded y'all, la isot, to do. Issaret, here, let's just highlight that so you can see where we're at. Issaret, right, let's highlight these 2 words right here. There's Issaret, right, Issaret right there, that is 10, or the Issaret, pointed as Issaret, and then we have Ha-Debarim, the 10 Debarim, as the 4th book of Moshe is known as Devarim, Latter-day Jews. With a European mother tongue, they say Devarim. We say Ha-Debarim according to the ancient pointing of the Hebrew, right? And it says Vayikatevim, and
He wrote them. Wayiktabayim. Wayiktabayim. And he wrote them all upon Shnei, 2 lochot. Lochot. Tablets. 2 tablets. Evanim or Ibanim. Lochot. All Shnei lochota Ibanim. And he wrote them on 2 tables of stone. Ibanim. Evanim. Some say Evanim, Ebanim, 2 tables of stone. And just to proof positive that right here, we go down here where we have the hyperlinks, and we have Eseret, Eseret right there, 10. You see Eseret, next word, the H1697, Dabar, Dabar in the singular sense of word, and Ha-Dabarim, the words. The words. Going further right here, just katab. Katab is to write, to record, right? All is up, on, upon, right? Shnei, right? Shnei, they have it in the plural form, but there we have it in the constructive sense. Shnei, because Shnei goes with lochot. So as singular Shanaim, if it was just singular, to say 2. But saying the 2 tables, Shnei Lochota Ebani. So here's the second place that we have in the translation 10 commandments, but in the actual text we have 10 words. All right? Okay, one more place, because there's 3 places. There's only 3 places in Torah, right, where we have 10 commandments in the English KJV, and this is the 3rd here. Deuteronomy 10 and 4. We had Exodus 34, right? Then we have Deuteronomy 4, right? And here we have Deuteronomy 10. And he wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments. Even here, you see the word H1697. That's Debar Ha-Debarim. Esareta Ha-Debarim. That Yahweh, that Jehovah spake to you. We don't read the unto. The Habarim already understand that right there. To you, because un mean not, right? Not. Okay? To you. In the mount, out of the midst of the fire, in the day of the assembly. And Yahweh and Jehovah gave them to me. So once again, to do due diligence here, let's look at the Hebrew right here. Looking at the Hebrew. We could read this up here, but just for consistency, we're going to go down to the Tanakh, what is called by others the Tanakh. Ones and ones know we don't favor that particular wording of it. It's on scripture right there. It's an acronym right there. But since it's a point of reference right here, we're going to touch on it right here. Wayiktov, Allah luchota, ka mikatab, ha rishon, Eita Esareta Ha-Debarim Asher Diber Yahuwah Eleikem Bahara Mitoka Ha'esha Beyoma Ha-Kahal Wayitanem Yahuwah Elai. So that's basically that's the only place that is incorrect is where it says 10 commandments. It should have said 10 words. It should have said 10 words. We could go through this word by word or phrase by phrase. Wayiktov, and he wrote Allah ha-luchot upon the tablets, ha-miktav, according to the writing, as the writing, ha-miktav, ha-rishon, as the rishon, as the first. 8, the 8 is the definite article marker there. Esareta ha-debarim, the 10 debarim words. Asher, that which diber, that which spoke, Yahuwah, he who be, who he be. Not I am that I am, that's Ehya She'ehya. This is Yahuwah. Wahu haya, wahu hawe, wahu yihya betifera. Right? Diber, that spoke, Yahweh, Jehovah, Eleikem, to you all, Bahar, Ba, upon Har, or in the Har, Mitok, from the middle, from the midst, mitok ha'esh, from the middle of the fire, ha'esh, mitok ha'esh, biyom, in the day, ha-kahal, in the day of the assembly, or the kahal, like kahila, the church, the called out assembly, biyom ha-kahal, the church in the wilderness, that church, we're saying that in the sense of kahal, to assemble, and the latter day word, the kahila, the church, the assembly, biyom ha-kahal, Wayitanem, and he gave them. Wayitanem, somebody didn't say Vayitanem, but Wayitanem, and he gave them Yahweh, Jehovah, and Jehovah, Hashem gave them Wayitanem Yahweh Eli, and he gave them to I. And he gave them to me, or to I. Eli. He gave them to I. This is what Moshe, this is what is being said right there. So we have three places. Just to get that, this is important, just to get a good groundation on this and to go into the actual verses for some of the potential, possible, or even sincere, but sincerely wrong naysayers.
אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך, לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי. לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא. זכור את יום השבת לקדשו. כבד את אביך ואת אמך. לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב. לא תענה ורעך עד שקר. לא תחמוד בית רעך.
Hey, here's a Karema tune right here. Artist Waliki, 10 Commandments. Yes, I. RasTafari.
Yeah. That's that style. They want to hold I and a prisoner in Ethiopia. They want to bring me guilty of what I don't know. We don't want no Babylon law or his money. All we know is that the commandment. Babylon law for his money. All we know is that the commandment. The Babylon law can be twisted anyway. That is the commandment. You don't have no escape. I tell ya, wanted, are you wanted? They want anyway. So black man, are you wanted? Are you wanted? Do they want anyway? Wanted? Are you wanted? Do they want anyway? Hey, wanted? Are you wanted? Do they want anyway? Chase them out of before.
Your Imperial Majesty, as a mature Christian, have you a special word for young people of these days?
በዚህ ቀን የኛ ግዛት ውስጥ ላለው ሁሉ ነው የምንናገረው።
On this occasion, I address also all those within our empire. Our Christianity is not restricted to a given church, and I stress above all that we do not wish to make distinctions. My advice to all is to fulfill the 10 Commandments. You are aware of the contents of the 10 Commandments and can elaborate on it. If the nation for which I am the emperor follows and accepts this, since it's also what I accept and follow, I would believe our country is not only historically Christian, but also actively Christian.
Psalm 42.
תהילים ספר שני מזמור מ"ב למנצח משכיל לבני קורח.
As the hart panteth after the water brooks,
כאייל תערוג על אפיקי מים,
so panteth my soul after thee, O God.
כן נפשי תערוג אליך, אלוהים.
My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, where is thy God, thy God, thy God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in them. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy days. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance.
Elohai, Elohai, Elohai.
Oh my God, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan and of the Hermonites, from the hill Mizar. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waters spout. All thy waves and thy billows have gone over me. That the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayer unto the God of my life. I will say unto God my rock, why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones, mine enemies reproach me, while they say daily unto me, where is thy God? Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance, and my God, 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 my God.
Elect up to light of this world. Remember now, lines of King David, Ark of the Covenant, Hebrew language, and you must, little children of the world, learn the Ashanti language, learn the ancient Hebrew language, learn the Twi, learn cuneiform, hieroglyphic, New Orpic, Tamarians, learn them languages there, learn the Hamaric language. You see? You see the English language, trying your mentality,
Sirach, the prologue, King James 1611 version. The same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them.
So here, today's daily psalm, beginning book 2, Mizmor Mem Beit, Psalm 42, Psalm XLII. Book 2 of the Psalms to the Book of Psalms, 5 books in total. Here we're beginning the second book. There are 5 books of the Psalms. Yes. Apologies, brothers and sisters. Right there. I was on mute. Right here. We have today's daily psalm, a lament, a lamentation of an exile. From the Amharic perspective, it brings it out a little bit more. A lamentation of an exile, of a Levite in exile. But here we have lamentation of an exile. Here, beginning book 2 of the Psalter, Mizmor Mem Beit, Psalm XLII, book 2 of the Psalter, the Book of Psalms, Sefer Tehillim, Mizmor Dawit, has 5 books. So the Psalm book is divided from the ancient times into 5 books, and here at Psalm 42, Lament of an Exile, we have right here, Lament of a Falasha, even I, the Beta Israel here of the West, here Mizmor Mem Beit, book 2, Psalms 42 to Psalm 72 comprise the Psalms in book 2, and here the 42nd Psalm, it begins book 2. Now there's some interesting curiosities right here, that we would like to highlight and zoom in on right here, both in the Hebrew and also as is reflected in the Book of the Seven Seals, the Metzaf Kedus, the Bible of the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, root of David, weep not, behold. The line of the tribe of Judah, Kedamawi Haile Selassie in his Bible right here. So let's see to just connect the dots right here. Here we have, for the leader, for the chief musician, a maskil. Maskil has to do with skill, has to do with prudence, has to do with wisdom of the sons of Korah. Also note the sons of Korah before. Remember, there was Korah, the father, right, who rose up in rebellion against Moshe and the proper authority in the camp with Datan and Abiram, and they right, went down alive into Sheol, into the Duat, into the underworld. But the sons of Korah died not. What is the demonstration of? It's a demonstration of the 10 words, the 10 commandments, as His Majesty says. His advice to all is to fulfill, right, to fulfill the 10 words, to fulfill the 10 commandments. In the 10 words and 10 commandments, it says, He will visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the sons to the third and the fourth generation, those who hate Him. So it's clear that Korah, when he rose up in his rebel line, his rebellion, he hated Yahweh Jehovah. He went against the rightful order of things, and he was judged. But his sons, right, the sons of Korah, they died not. They died not. So are you what your father is? Are you really what your father is? Here it says that if the sons go along with what their fathers go along with, and the fathers go astray and hate Yahweh, well, they hate Yahweh. But we get the sons of Korah being spared. And from the sons of Korah, we trace the lineage even to Shemuel, to Samuel, right, to Samuel. So the sons of Korah, again, we have this heading in Psalms XLIV to XLIX. We have it in Psalms 44 to Psalm 49. We have Psalm 85. We have Psalm 87. And we have Psalm 88. All of them have the superscription for the sons of Korah, Libnei Korah, the Bnei Korah. Now, it is related of Korah that he perished in the abortive revolt, in the faux revolution against Moshe, right? But in Numbers chapter 26, verse 11, it says, but the sons of Korah, the Bnei Korah, died not. We read of the Korahites among the Levitical choristers in the Beit HaMikdash, in the Hekal, in the temple, in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 19. Now, the words of the title, some say, they may indicate that the Psalms enumerated were composed by this Levitical family. But more likely, some think they were part of a collection of psalms, of chants, of ises for liturgical worship that was used to be chanted by them. Hear, 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 lament of an exile. So here, from low degrees to high degrees, do we have KJV right here, here, here. Let's go through a couple of verses right here, brothers and sisters, and HD of the Midrash. We shared the Midrash, part of the Midrash, but we'll go into a little more detail this time right here if we have enough time to share this right here on the air and in the iris. So here, let's bring this up right here. We have verse 1 and verse 2, from low degrees to high degrees, the KJV, to the chief musician, Maskil. Once again, the Maskil instructive, Maskil didactic, Maskil something imparting skill or wisdom. Dawid was said to be Maskil. He showed himself circumspect. In Psalm 47 and 7. Is it Psalm 47 and 7? Which says to give praises with understanding. To give praises with understanding. Let's go here, see if that's Psalm 47. 47 and 7 in the King James Version, corresponding with 47 and 8 in the Hebrew. It says, Ki melech kol haaretz Elohim, Zamru maskil, for the king of all the earth's rightful ruler, Ki melech, for Melech, the king, call haaretz of all the earth, Elohim, for Elohim is the king, is the Melech, the Negus, even Negus and Neges of all the earthly plane. Zamru Masakil, sing praises with understanding in the KJV, sing praises. Masakil, Zamru, Zamar, Mezmor, Zamar, chant Isis, Zamru, Masakil, Zamru, chant Isis, y'all, in a skillful song, chant Isis, y'all, with understanding. So the maskil, just to bring out the maskil sense right here. Maskil, so what kind of a psalm is a maskil for the sons of Korah? As the heart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O El Elohim. My soul thirsteth for Elohim, for El Chai, for the living El, the living power. When shall I come and appear before Elohim? Here's what we like to zoom in on. When shall I come and appear before Elohim? Because there's a variant reading of it, even from the ancient Hebrew, and we see it also in the Septuagint, but particularly we see it in the Metzaf Kedus, right, within the Psalter, the Psalms of the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, in the Bible of His Imperial Majesty, the Book of the Seven Seals. Here in the Mezmor Dawit, here the first verses, here, Psalm 42. למזמרן הלקה יקורא לג'וצ'ה תמהרת. למזמרן, for the chanters, aleka, for the chief of the chanters, Yekoreh of Korah, lejoch, the children of Korah, Timheret. Timheret is teaching. Give us a Timheret, the Timhereta, Negus and Neges. Give us a teaching of His Majesty. Maskil.
My advice to all is to fulfill the Ten Commandments.
So here, Mezmor Arba'an, begins with the Arba Hulet. Psalm 41, in the parentheses 42, corresponding to the later numbering, superscription, Lemezamran Aleka, Yekorel Lejoch Timharit. For the chief musician, the chief of the chanters, a teaching, a Timharit of the sons of Korah. Qutr An, verse 1. Wala, what a wicha mincha in the minafika betu, indihu nefse, what ante te nafkalech. Here, corresponding with the first verse right here. Wala. Now we have the wala, we have the deer. Let's put it like the deer. Wala, water wucha, to the water, minch, to the water source, in the mi nafik, as the deer, as he pants to the water source, or as he nafik, right, as he longs for, right, in the mi nafik, as the deer, or the hart, panteth to the source of the water. Wala wade, toward wucha, the water minch, the wucha minch, the water source, like the water spout, the water fountain, in the mi nafik, as he longs, abetu, my father's father, or Abba, the beit abetu, indihu, like this, nefse, my soul, my psyche, she, wada ante, to the I male, tinafkalech, she longs. So as the heart longs for the source of the water, abetu, my father, the house, like this, my soul, nefse, my psyche, wada ante, to ante, speaking directly to he who be, wada ante, tinafkalech, she longs. Uter Hulet, verse 2. Nefse, wada hiyao amlaktet emacha, meche darsalo, yamlakanis safita meche ayalo. Nefse, my soul, my psyche, correspond with the Hebrew, the nefesh, nafshi, my soul, my psyche, she. So the soul, right, in HaTorah, in the scripts, Afro-Shemitically speaking, is she. Nefse, my soul, wede, towards hiyao, the living amlak, hiyao, the living God. In the Hebrew, we say le'el, te'el, chai, le'el, chai, chai, the living, hiyao, amlak, tetemach, tetemach. She thirsts. She's thirsty. She's thirsty. My soul, she's thirsty, right? Towards the living source. Meche, when? Meche darsalo? Meche darsalo. Meche darsalo. When will I reach? When will I reach? So here, putting this as a dialogue in the psyche, in the soul. In my soul, nefse, water, hiyao, amlak, tetemach, she's thirsty, she thirsts, meche, edersalo, and thus, in a sense, saying, meche, edersalo, my soul is saying, when will I reach? When will I reach the living power, le'el chai? When will I reach to that divine water? First question, meche, when? Edersalo, when will I darash? Darsalo, when will I reach? Yamlakanis, and of the amlak of the source, feet. The feet, Bamarinya is the face, Yamlakanis feet, of amlakanis, and concerning my power's face, the perspective, the face, how you face it, how you see it. Amlakanis feet. The face, the perspective of my God, of my power. Meche ayalo, meche ayalo, meche when ayalo, ayalo I will see, ayalo I will see. Here as a question, meche ayalo, when will I see? When will I see the face? When will I see the face of the power of God? Now, here, let's bring it down to the Hebrew right here. That's the first two verses, right, from the Metzaf Kedus of Negus and Neges, the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie First Bible, right here, the Psalms, and here, from the Hebrew, we have Lamnat Tseya Maskil Libnek Ora, for the leader, the chief musician, the overcomer, Maskil, wisdom, circumspection, a teaching of the B'nai Korah, the sons of Korah. Kayala taroga alifik mayim. Ken nafshi ta'rog leka Elohim. As the heart ka'ayal, as the male deer, ta'irog. Now the ta'irog is interesting here because the ta'irog means she thirst. We get into some of this. There's something called haplography. In other words, some say since the verb here, ta'irog, is feminine, and ayal is the male deer, the female deer is the ayelet, with the tau, the T at the end, ayelet. Haplography is like when a letter is dropped out. So some think that actually it originally was ayelet ta'irog. But the te at the end of ayelet got dropped off, so from the feminine deer or the hind, it becomes here the ayal. Now ayal is an interesting word too, because ayele in the Amharic means to like overpower, to be strong. It's related to the more archaic form, the chayele. So we say chayel. We say El. We say El to say God. We say Ayel. So Ayel, even the Hebrew, is linked to strength and power and might. The Ayal. And when we contract that word, this is where we have the Hebrew word for God and Almighty in El and Elohim. So Ayel, contracted El, uncontracted is Ayel, which also means like a hart, a deer, right? So we have Ka'ayal. And people say, well, why is this? Because those relate to the ram, like the horns, like that, the horns, the twisted, the power, twisted, right? In that sense there. So we have Ka'ayal. So some say that actually it was Ka'ayalet Tarog, but the Tau in Ayelet got dropped off, so transforming the word from the female deer to the male deer, as we have, according to the Ketib, what is written, Ka'ayal Ta'irog, But as it is written, is saying that Ka'ayal, as a male deer, ta'erog, as she pants. So as a male deer is panting like she, alifik mai, after or upon the water, right? The water brooks. Cain, so. Yes, so, like this. Cain, nafshi, so my soul. Ta'erog. Now, what's interesting is that the ayelet, in the feminine sense, ayelet is she, and the nafshi is she. So we have Cain, nafshi, so my soul, ta'erog, she is panting. Eleika, ele, to the ka, to the I, male, eleika, Elohim, so my soul. So as the deer, right, pants like she, after the water brooks, Cain nafshi, so my soul, my psyche, Cain nafshi ta'erog, she is panting, right? Eleika, after the I, to the I, Elohim, or Elohim. So here in the Hebrew, this is the Gimel verse, but in your Bibles, KJV, the second verse, Sama nafshi le'Elohim le'el chai. Matay abo, with Era'eh, Pnei Elohim, my soul thirsteth for Elohim, for the living El, Le'el Chai, Le'el Chai, Le for El, the Almighty, the power, Le'el Chai, the living power. Matayabo, when shall I come? Matai. Bamarini we say meche dersalo. In the Ibrayist, in the Hebrew we say matai, when? Matai abo, when shall I come? Matai abo, we era'eh. Now we have era'eh. Era'eh is to become visible. When will I be seen? When will I appear, in the sense of when will I be visible, when will I be seen? We'era'eh, and be seen, Pnei, the face, the presence, Pnei Elohim. So this can be translated as before Elohim, or when shall I see the face of Elohim. But here, according to the pointing we have here, We'era'eh. We have We'era'eh. So what is Era'eh? The Hebrew, when shall I go and appear to the face of Elohim? Bringing out a direct of the Hebrew, when shall I go and appear to the face of Elohim? Mataya bo we'era'eh pnei Elohim. Or, other translation, when shall I come and appear before Elohim? Now, some look at this and amend the nifal, right, of ra'ah, to see, ra'ah. Re, to see. The nifal of the verb, we have era'eh. Era'eh in the Hebrew is I will appear, I will be seen. Era'eh, I will appear, I will be seen. To the kal of this would be er'eh. So the letters are the same, but the tonal pointing changes, right? Changes the context. So as era'eh is I will appear, I will be seen. Er'eh is I will see. Er'eh is I will see. So here when we look at the Metzaf Kedus of Negus and Neges in the Septuagint, they have this secondary I will see. Er'eh. So if we read this like this, Mataya bo we'er'eh pnei Elohim. This would be, when shall I go and see the face of Elohim? And see the face of Elohim. And both of these readings, right, a lament of a Levite, right, because of the close proximity, right, of the Levites and the Kohanim in the tabernacle, in the temple. They were around the ark and the holy things. So in a sense, they were in the presence or before right, the face, the presence. So to go before the presence of Elohim is like to go before the presence of the ark, right, according to HaTorah, right, or to go into the tabernacle court facing the direction of the ark. So here, with the reading that we have in the Metzaf Kedus of His Majesty, brings out this second sense. Ya'amla kanis feet, meche ayalo, and the face of the Amlak, the face of the source, meche ayalo, meche. In the Hebrew we have matai, matai abo. When shall I go? With era'eh, and appear, or with er'eh, and see. Where Pnei Elohim. Matai abo with er'eh Pnei Elohim. When shall I go and see the face, right, of Elohim? Or Matai abo with era'eh Pnei Elohim. When shall I go and appear before Elohim? And what's interesting about this is that those who had a duty of service in the context of the tabernacle, they could say er'eh, to see, right, to see the face. I will see, right, I will see the face, right, while the other worshipers, the rank and file Israelites, they would come during the pilgrim festivals to appear before the face, right, to appear before Elohim, right, in the holy city and in the courtyard of the tabernacle or the courtyard of the temple. Just to bring out this particular sense right here, because in the Metzaf Kedus, His Majesty's Bible, sometimes the translation would favor the Hebrew and even the archaic Hebrew, and at other times, right, in a word, in a verse, or area, it would favor the Septuagint, which proves that the Ethiopian, the ancient version that His Majesty translated it from, right, was a totally different version than any of the versions we have now. We have a version of a version now, but it's an interesting study right here. Just bring that out right at this particular point on the second verse. When shall I go? Right, abo is like to go in that sense. It could be to come, but more in a go sense. Matai abo, when shall I go? Where era'eh, and appear. Where era'eh, and see Pnei Elohim, and see the face of Elohim.
Is to fulfill the Ten Commandments. We want to walk the streets of glory, shining around Rastafari, to look upon your pretty, pretty face. We want to walk the streets of glory, shining around your throne. So now DJ, tell all the Gentiles them to come, one come look upon your pretty, pretty face. Far we are going home to seek in Rastafari.
Pull up that one, your justice. Hey, pull up this Rastafari, no man. It's hot.
I want to seek in Rastafari, to look upon your pretty, pretty face.
We want to walk the streets of glory, shining around your throne. So now DJ, tell all the Gentiles them to come, run come look upon your pretty, pretty face. Far we are going home to seek in Rastafari. Till I see at the root of David. Hallelujah. King Selassie at the root of David. Chant it out, hallelujah. King Selassie at the root of David. Hallelujah. At the root of David. Hallelujah. At the root of David. Hallelujah. I am of Selassie at the root of David. Hallelujah. With your loud voices. Mount Zion birds shall sing and say,
upper room.
And when they were come in, they went up into an upper room. They went up into an upper room.
መዝሙር 41 በቅንፍ 42 ለመዘምራን አለቃ የቆሬ ልጆች ትምህርት። ዋላ ወደ ውሃ ምንጭ እንደሚናፍቅ አቤቱ እንዲሁ ነፍሴ ወደ አንተ ትናፍቃለች። ነፍሴ ወደ ሕያው አምላክ ተጠማች። መቼ ደርሳለሁ? የአምላክንስ ፊት መቼ አያለሁ? ዘወትር አምላክህ ወዴት ነው ሲሉኝ እንባዬ በቀንና በሌሊት ምግብ ሆነ። ይህን ሳስብ ነፍሴ በኔ ውስጥ ፈሰሰች። ወደ እግዚአብሔር ቤት ወደ ምስጋና መኖሪያ ስፍራ እገባለሁና በዓል የሚያደርጉ ሰዎች የደስታና የምስጋናን ቃል አሰሙ። ነፍሴ ሆይ ለምን ታዝኛለሽ? ለምን ታውኪኛለሽ? የፊቴን መድኃኒት አምላኬን አመሰግነው ዘንድ በእግዚአብሔር ታመኝ። አምላኬ ሆይ ነፍሴ በኔ ውስጥ ታወከች። ስለዚህ በዮርዳኖስ ምድር በአርሞኒየምም በታናሹ ተራራ አስብሃለሁ። በፏፏቴ ድምፅ ቀላይ ቀላይን ትጠራለች። ማዕበልህና ሞገድህ ሁሉ በላይ አለፈ። እግዚአብሔር በቀን ቸርነቱን ያዛል፣ በሌሊትም ዝማሬው በኔ ዘንድ ይሆናል። የኔ ስለት ለሕይወቴ አምላክ ነው። እግዚአብሔርን አንተ መጠጊያዬ ነህ፣ ለምን ረሳኸኝ? ጠላቶቼ ሲያስጨንቁኝ ለምን አዝኜ እመላለሳለሁ እለዋለሁ። ጠላቶቼ ሁል ጊዜ አምላክህ ወዴት ነው ባሉኝ ጊዜ አጥንቶቼን እየቀለጣጠሙ ሰደው። ነፍሴ ሆይ ለምን ታዝኛለሽ? ለምን እስታውቂኛለሽ? የፊቴን መድኃኒት አምላኬን አመሰግነው ዘንድ በእግዚአብሔር ታመኝ። መዝሙር 42 በቅንፍ 43 የዳዊት መዝሙር። አቤቱ ፍረድልኝ፣ ከጽድቅ ከራቁ ሕዝብም ክርክሬን ተከራከር። ከሸንጋይና ከግፈኛ ሰው አድን። አንተ አምላኬ ኃይሌም ለምን ትተወኛለህ? ጠላቶቼ ሲያስጨንቁኝ ለምን አዝኜ እመላለሳለሁ? ብርሃንህንና እውነትህን ላክ፣ እነርሱ ይምሩኝ። ወደ ቅድስና ተራራና ወደ ማደሪያ ይውሰዱኝ። ወደ እግዚአብሔር መሠዊያ ጎልማሳነቴንም ደስ ወዳሰኛት ወደ አምላኬ እገባለሁ። አቤቱ አምላኬ በበገና አመሰግንሃለሁ። ነፍሴ ሆይ ለምን ታዝኛለሽ? ለምን እስታውቂኛለሽ? የፊቴን መድኃኒት አምላኬን አመሰግነው ዘንድ በእግዚአብሔር ታመኝ።
Salamta, Aina Yisterling. Greetings, and may Cha give you health on I and I behalf. Aina Yisterling. Today's daily psalm, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, and here after the order of Melchizedek, Gormawi, Kadamawi, Haile Selassie, here from the Metzhaf Kedus, the Book of the Seven Seals, and from the Psalter, Mezmore Dawid, the Psalms of David. Here we begin the second book with today's daily psalm, Mezmor Arba Hulet, Psalm 42. Huletenya Metzhaf, the second book of the Psalter of the Mezmore Dawid, Psalms of David, is divided in the ancient manuscripts and scrolls into 5 books. And here we pick up with the second book, Huletenya Metzhaf, Ka Mezmor Arba Hulet is Ki Seba Hulet Deres. From Psalms 42 to Psalm 72 is the Huletenya, the second Metzhaf book, Huletenya Metzhaf. Today's daily psalm, Mezmor Arba Hulet, Psalm 42. And today's daily psalm is themed, Besidet Lai Yale Lewawi Likso. Besidet Lai Yale, one who is in exile, Besidet, in Sidet, Besidet Lai Yale Lewawi Likso. A Levite lamentation, Lewawi Likso. Levite's lamentation while Besidet Lai, in exile. Besidet Lai Yale Lewawi Likso. The theme of today's daily psalm, according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, and here after the order of Melchizedek, Garmawi, Haile Selassie, Baruch Hashem. Yes, I. So make and I pick up and write up here, comparing and contrasting side by side the HSV, Haile Selassie version, with the KJV, the King James version. Beginning off here with the superscription, we begin Besima'ab, Wewelid, Wamenfes Kadus, Ahadu, Amlak. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one source. In Jemralen, we begin with the superscription. Le mezamrana leka yekore lejoch timherit. The English and the KJV, to the chief musician. Le mezamrana leka. To the mezamran aleka. The musical chief, the musical director. Le mezamrana leka. Yekore lejoch. Sons of Korah. Timherit. In the English, you have masakil, which has to do with skill and understanding, a well-written composition, taken as a didactic or a teaching. By Marinya, we have timherit, bringing out the true sense of the masakil that we have in the superscription, the KJV, to the chief musician, maskil, for the sons of Korah. Lemezamrana leka, yekore lejoch timherit, a teaching, a timherit, of the sons of Korah. Le mezamrana leka, to the chief musician, a teaching of the sons of Korah. Kuter and, verse 1. Wallah, what a wuhamint in the minafik abetu. Indihu nese, what a ante tenafik alech. As the heart panteth after the water brooks. Wallah, what a wuhamint in the minafik abetu. My father, his father, father of the house, so panteth my soul, my psyche, my suke, my nefesh, nefse, indihu, like this, indihu, nefse, whether ante, to the eye, male, tenafik alech, she panteth, as the heart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul, nefse, my psyche, after thee, I, O God. Wallah, what a wuha mention the minafik avitu indihu nefse, what ante tenafik alech, kuter hulet, verse 2. Nefse, what a yaw amlak tetemach, meche dersalo, yamlakinis safit meche ayalo. My soul thirsteth for God, for the source, for the living source, the living God. When shall I come and appear before the source, before God? Nefse, my soul, what a yaw amlak. My soul, what a towards yaw amlak, to the living source, the living God. Yaw amlak, nefse, what a yaw amlak tetemach. She thirsteth. Meche darsalo. When shall I reach? Meche darsalo. Yamlak in this feet and the face, the presence, the perception of the source. Meche ayalo. Meche ayalo. When shall I see the face of the source? When shall I see the face of God? Interesting right here in the Hebrew we have era'eh, to appear, and era'eh, to see. So here the Royal Amharic takes the secondary interpretation, not just to appear, when shall I appear before the face of the source, but when shall I see the face of God, the face of the source. Amlak nisfit, meche ayalo, meche when, ayalo, shall I see. Kuter source, verse 3. Zoweter, amlake, weretno, silun, and baye bekerna beleilit, migab honeng. My tears have been my meat, my food, day and night, while they continually say to me, where is thy God? Where is thy source? Zoweter, always, continually. I'm like, where is he? I'm like, your male source. I'm like, silun, while they say to me, silun, in bayi, my tears, bekenana, beleilit, in the day, bekenana, beleilit, nigib, honeng, has become for me food. Kuter arat, verse 4. Yehinna sasiba nese, benne wista fesesech, wade gziari herdeta, wade miskana, menoria sifra gebalahunna, ba Allah yemiyadargusa woch, yedestana, miskana kalasemu. When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me, in I. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of the source, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Yihin sasib, yihin this sasib. When I think about this, yihin sasib, nefse, my soul, my psyche, be inne wista fesesech, she is poured out. My psyche, she is poured out. What a Exile herbeit to the house, the bait of Exile, the sustainer, the good, the generous of Father. What a miskana, and to thanks menoria, to the dwelling place of thanks, of thanksgiving. What a miskana menoria sifra igbalahunna, be Allah yamiyadargu sawoch. Those, the people who kept the holy day, the Baal, the feast, the festival, Baal Yimiyadargu Sawoch, Desitana, Miskana Kal, Asemmo. Cause to hear, if cause to hear, Desta, joy, and Miskana Kal, Destana, Miskana Kal, Asemmo. Kuter Amis, verse 5. Nefse hoi, Lemon Tajnalesh, Lemonis Ataukinyalesh. Yefitena Medhanita Amlakena Mesegnozen, the Exile Heratameni. Why art thou the eye cast down, O my soul, Nefsehoi, Lemon Tajnalesh, Lemonis Ataukinyalesh. And why art thou disquieted? And why are you disquieted within I? Lemonis Taukinyalesh, Yefitena Medhanit, Amlakena Mesagnozen, the Egezia Viher Tameni. Trust, take confidence in He who be who He be. Hope thou in the source and sustainer of the good, the generous Ab, for I shall yet praise Him. I shall yet praise Him for the help of His countenance. Here in the Royal Amharic, Fitena Medhanit, the salvation, the medicine, Fitain of my face, of my perception, Fitena Medhanit, Amlakin, my source, Amesagnozen, to praise, Amlakin, to praise my source, Amlakin, Amesagnozen, the Egezia Tameni, commanding the soul, commanding his soul, his suke, his nefs, to trust in the sustainer. Speaking to she, Tameni, have faith, yea and amen, in the sustainer, He who be who He be. Kuter Sidist, verse 6. Amlake hoi, nese, benne wista tawakach. Selezih be Jordanos midar, be armone mimma, be tanashu tarara, asibhalo. Oh, my source. Oh, my source, Amlake hoi, my source hoi, oh, Amlake hoi, oh, my source, my soul, she is cast down within me, within I, Nese, benne wista tawakech, selezi, therefore, be Jordanos midar, in the land of Jordan, the Armonemim, and the Hermonites, Betanashu Tarara, and in the little mountain, Betanashu Tarara, Asibhalo, I will reckon the I. Therefore will I remember the I from the land of Jordan and of the Hermonites, from the hill, Mizar, Mizar, the little hill, Betanashu Tarara, Kuter Sarat, verse 7. Befawateh dintzak like Elayin tit ratalech, Ma'idalhinna mogedih hulu, Belaye Alefe, Belaye Alefe. Deep calleth to deep at the noise of the eye, water spouts at the voice, at the noise of thy water spouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me, are gone over I. Cement, verse 8. Beleilitim azamareu, bene zende Yehonal, yene sileta lehiwete amlakno. Yet the sustainer, Exile, the good, the generous Ab, Father, will command, He who be, who He be, will command His loving kindness in the daytime, commanding His loving kindness in the daytime. Exile herveken, chernetun, His generosity, His open-handedness. Exile beken, in the day, beken chernetun yazizal, He will command. He will command His loving kindness, His generosity in the daytime. And in the night, His song shall be with me. His song shall be with I and I and I and I. Beleilitim, and in the night, Beleilitim, Zamareu, Benne Zen Yehonal. And my prayer to the source of my life and my prayer, Yene Silet, in my vow. Here we have Silet. Yene of I, my, Yene, Silet, Lehiwete, Amlakno, to the source of my life. Lehiwete, lehiwete, lehiwete amlakno. Kuter zeteng. Verse 9. Egziavi herin, ante met egyayen, lemina aresahin, telatoche siyasach and kunya, lemin aznye, emelal lesalo, hillawalo. I will say to the source, sustainer, my rock, why hast thou forgotten I? Why go I mourning because of the oppression? Rephrase the downpression. Why go I mourning because of the downpression of the enemy? Ante, the I, male, ante, metegiayin, is my place of refuge, my stronghold. Lemin aresahin. Why have you forgotten I? Lemin aresahin. Lemin aresahin. Why have you forgotten I? Why? Telatoche, my enemies, siyasach and queening, when they cause I and I straightness and difficulty and anxiety, when they downpress I and I haters, telatoche, siyasach and queening. Lemin, why? Azinye, himela lesalahu. Why Azinye being sad? Azinye, Emelal Lesalo. Emelal Lesalo. Why do I go to and fro? Why do I go about? Azinye. Azinye, sad. Lemon Azinye, Emelal Lesalo. Illawalo. Illawalo. I will say to him, I will say to Gaziabiha. Kuta Asa, verse 10. Telatoche, Hulgize. I'm like, where that no? Balungize hat intochena iek elet amu sedabunye. As with a sword in my bones, mine enemies reproach me, while they say daily to me, where is thy God? Where is thy source? Telatoche, my enemies, my haters, hul gize, hul all gize the time. Telatoche, hul gize. I'm like, where that no? Malungize, while they say to me, I'm like, your male, your source. Where date? Where? No, where is he? Where that know? Where that know? I'm like, where that know? Malungize, at intochin my bones, iek elet atamu sadabun. They blaspheme I. Kut asra and. Verse 11. Nesehoi, lemen tazinyalesh, lemen is talking yalesh. Yefitain met chanit am laken am esgnozen egziavi her tameni. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? Nefsehoi, O my soul, O my suke, O my psyche. Nefsehoi, lemon tazinyalesh, lemon tazinyalesh. Why art thou saddened? Why art thou saddened? Lemonis, and why talking yalesh? And why do you cause I agitation? Talking yalesh. Speaking to she, the psyche, the nefesh, the nefsehoi, lemon tazinyalesh. Why are you sad, O my soul? Lemonis talking yalesh. And why do you cause I agitation? Yefitin medchanit. The salvation of my face, of my perception. Yefitena medchanit, the salvation of my face, my perception. I'm lakin, my source. I'm esagnozen, to praise. I'm esagnozen, to praise. I'm lakin. I'm esagnozen, ve'egaziavi have tameni, commanding the soul. Because the soul that is without instruction in Yahweh, truth, and life is headed for self-destruction. Here, commanding the soul, that Egazia we have, and the sustainer the good, the generous of, and he who be, who he be. Tameni, trust, yea, and amen. The objective reality, and he who be, who he 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 be.
females too low. AP no means I own no respect, yeah. Well, it don't know,
መዝሙር 41 በቅንፍ 42 ለመዘምራን አለቃ የቆሬ ልጆች ትምህርት። ዋላ ወደ ውሃ ምንጭ እንደሚናፍቅ አቤቱ እንዲሁ ነፍሴ ወደ አንተ ትናፍቃለች። ነፍሴ ወደ ሕያው አምላክ ተጠማች። መቼ ደርሳለሁ? የአምላክንስ ፊት መቼ አያለሁ? ዘወትር አምላክህ ወዴት ነው ሲሉኝ እንባዬ በቀንና በሌሊት ምግብ ሆነ። ይህን ሳስብ ነፍሴ በኔ ውስጥ ፈሰሰች። ወደ እግዚአብሔር ቤት ወደ ምስጋና መኖሪያ ስፍራ እገባለሁና በዓል የሚያደርጉ ሰዎች የደስታና የምስጋናን ቃል አሰሙ። ነፍሴ ሆይ ለምን ታዝኛለሽ? ለምን ታውኪኛለሽ? የፊቴን መድኃኒት አምላኬን አመሰግነው ዘንድ በእግዚአብሔር ታመኝ። አምላኬ ሆይ ነፍሴ በኔ ውስጥ ታወከች። ስለዚህ በዮርዳኖስ ምድር በአርሞኒየምም በታናሹ ተራራ አስብሃለሁ። በፏፏቴ ድምፅ ቀላይ ቀላይን ትጠራለች። ማዕበልህና ሞገድህ ሁሉ በላይ አለፈ። እግዚአብሔር በቀን ቸርነቱን ያዝዛል፣ በሌሊትም ዝማሬው በኔ ዘንድ ይሆናል። የኔ ስለት ለሕይወቴ አምላክ ነው። እግዚአብሔርን አንተ መጠጊያዬ ነህ፣ ለምን ረሳኸኝ? ጠላቶቼ ሲያስጨንቁኝ ለምን አዝኜ እመላለሳለሁ እለዋለሁ። ጠላቶቼ ሁልጊዜ አምላክህ ወዴት ነው ባሉኝ ጊዜ አጥንቶቼን እየቀለጣጠሙ ሰደው። ነፍሴ ሆይ ለምን ታዝኛለሽ? ለምን ታውኪኛለሽ? የፊቴን መድኃኒት አምላኬን አመሰግነው ዘንድ በእግዚአብሔር ታመኝ።
And the 8 is direct subject marker. For I will cast out nations before thee, enlarge thy borders, neither shall any man covet thy land, thy land, thy land. So here, the first verse, touching on the superscription. Now let's zoom in on the first verse. In the KJV, this will be verse 1 and 2. In the Sefer Tehillim, in the Hebrew Psalter, it'll be verses 2 to 3. This section is seen his yearning, the yearning for communion, common union, communion with Ha-Elohim, Ha-Elohim, with the power. So once again, verse 2 and 3 in the Hebrew corresponds to KJV, verses 1 and 2, apart from the superscription. Ka'ayal ta'rog, al ifke mayi, ke nafshi ta'rog, eleka Elohim. Samah nafshi l'Elohim le'el chayi. Matabo, ve'erayeh b'nei Elohim. Here, as the heart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, I, O Elohim. My soul, she thirsteth for Elohim, for the living El, for El Chai. When shall I come and appear before Elohim? When? The question here, when shall I come and appear before Elohim? Matai abo ve'era'eh b'nei Elohim. Matai abo, when shall I come? Matai abo ve'era'eh, and I appear. With and era'eh. Werae, Pene Elohim, and appear before Elohim. Now, since the accompanying verb in the first verse, KJVY, is the bait verse in the Hebrew, Ayal. Ayal is translated as heart. Ayal being translated as heart, as a stag, a male deer. But the verb ta'erog is she panteth. Ta'erog is she panteth. So we have the noun being male and the verb being feminine, and the verb ta'erog is the very same verb we have in the B part, the second part of the opening verse, Kain nafshi ta'erog eleka Elohim. So panteth my soul. Kain nafshi ta'erog. So the ta'erog there corresponding to k'ayal ta'erog, except that ayal is masculine, is a male deer, a stag, a male deer. So the accompanying verb is feminine in form. The noun ayal is masculine. Should be amended. Now some amend this here within their reading of it, right? Some amend this here looking at the Hebrew, and sometimes what has gone on with copying it. There's something called haplography. If you look up haplography, Haplography, haplography. Haplography, some say the letter tau, the T, tau, or some say tav, has occurred, and therefore the following verb, ta'erog, begins with tau. Therefore the amending of k'ayal, like a stag, a male deer, to k'ayalet. Now ayalet is a female deer. The ayalet is the hind or the female deer. This is why it reads as the heart, the stag or the male deer. A more accurate would be the hind, and bringing out the hind, the female deer, the ayalet. So instead of k'ayal ta'erog, some suggest that there was another tau after ayal for the feminine sense of ayalet. So would have read k'ayalet ta'erog, k'ayalet ta'erog. And the haplography means that, as it said, you have one letter, the same letter that ends a word, begins a new word. Sometime in speech and even in writing, that letter gets dropped because it's repeated in the first part of the next word. So instead of k'ayalet ta'erog, k'ayalet ta'erog, k'ayalet ta'erog, k'ayal ta'erog, k'ayal ta'erog, k'ayalet ta'erog, k'ayal ta'erog, k'ayal ta'erog. So if you go through, you can see, and also here, most importantly here, k'ayalet ta'erog, k'ayalet ta'erog, k'ayal ta'erog, k'ayal ta'erog, k'ayalet ta'erog. Because in order to pronounce both the T at the end, the tau at the end of ayalet, and the tau at the beginning of ta'erog, to pant, she to pant. That's the key. She to pant. So thus we have the emendation here, bringing out a more vivid simile. A thirsty, timid hind, ayalet, she, ta'erog, she panting. Not k'ayal as a male deer, ta'erog, like a male deer, she pants. Like a male deer, she pants. So therefore the haplography of the letter tau no doubt is accurate. K'ayalet ta'erog. Because then the consistency with the second part of the verse, Kan nafshi ta'erog. So my soul, the soul in the Hebrew, the Afro-Shemitic, is feminine. So the simile, the word picture, is a thirsty, timid hind. She's fearful of attack at a pool or stream by stronger animals that aggregate there, yet she's driven by the instinct of self-preservation to find water that is essential to life and liberty. Bringing out that sense here, as the hind, as she panteth after the water brooks. So panteth my soul, after thee, Eleka Elohim. So pants, the sense of ta'erog, she panting, brings out the sense of panting with thirst. Ta'erog, my soul, she ta'erog. Ka'ayalet, as a female deer, ta'erog, she panteth. In spite of the very interesting k'ayal, like a male deer, ta'erog, alifik mayim, kena she ta'erog, eleka Elohim. The Hebrew term nefesh, with the pronominal suffix nav she contracted and pronominal suffix added. So nefesh is soul, nafshi, contracting, nafshi, like nefse, bamarinya, nefse, nafshi, nafshi, with the pronominal suffix. Some say is equivalent. Sometimes this is equivalent to a pronoun in poetry. In other words, my soul, to say like my life, my inner life thirsteth. Right? Well, thirsteth now, the thirsting idea now, the panting is panting for water. So we have the ta'irog, first verse. Second verse, right? Samah, right? Samah. She thirsting, nafshi, my soul, she thirsting. She thirsty. Samah nafshi. And especially telling image here, going with the opening verse, in a sun-scorched east, where water is held to be very precious in the sun-scorched east, 13 months of sunshine, it is used again. We have the same sense of sama'ah used again in Psalm 63, Hebraically the second verse, in Amos chapter 8, verse 11, in Isaiah 55 and 1. She thirsteth, sama'ah nafshi, le'elohim, le'el chai. My soul, she thirsteth for Elohim, for the powers. She thirsted for the power, for the living power. Le'el, le'el chai, le'el chai, the power, the almighty chai, the almighty life, the almighty living one, for the living almighty. Matai abo ve'era'eh b'nei Elohim. When shall I come? Matai abo, matai abo, matai avo. Some might not say it's matai avo, ve'era'eh b'nei Elohim. Matai abo, ve'era'eh b'nei Elohim. When shall I come and appear before Elohim? Ha'el, Hayel, the power, who is the fountain of living waters, of running, of flowing, the living waters. Jeremiah, Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. Also Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 13. He who be, he be, Ha'el, the power, the almighty, he be, because he has the power, ability, he's almighty, Ha'el, he be, the fountain of living waters, who alone, all one alone, can satisfy the thirst of a true mitmanan, a true admittant, called, chosen, and faithful admittant, one who believe, a true believer. Appear before Elohim. This phrase here, with and era'eh p'nei Elohim, appearing before the face, the fanei, We'era'eh p'nei Elohim, appearing before the face, the countenance, the presence, the perception. This is a technical phrase. Hebraically, this is a technical phrase. If I would say, I'm going to go and appear before Elohim, that's a technical phrase for pilgrimage to Hekalo, to Ha-Hekal, to the temple, Hekalo, to his temple, the Mikdash, the Mekdesh. We have this also in Psalm 84 and 8, as well as in Exodus 23 and 17. This technical phrase, appearing, era'eh, in the sense of I appearing, era'eh, p'nei Elohim, era'eh, being seen, sight, era'eh, p'nei, before, in the face of Elohim, in the face of the powers. This is a technical phrase for pilgrimage to the Heikal, to the temple, where he sets Hashem, his name, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem, and also in the connection of the Aron HaEdut, the Ark of his testimony, the Aron HaBrit, the Ark of the Covenant. But there's a little nuance here in the Hebrew that is interesting to share with the Talmudim, with the Chabarim, right here. When we look at this verse here, first part, we're here looking at verse 2 in the KJV. My soul thirsteth for Elohim, for El Chai. When shall I come and appear before Elohim? So we know that the phrase Era'eh P'nei Elohim is a technical phrase for pilgrimage or going to the temple, going to the holy place, where he sets his name, the Hashem, and particularly in the Ark of the Covenant sense, where he says, there he will meet with I and I. So here we have from the first part of the second verse, Samah nafshi le'elohim le'el chai. My soul, she thirsteth Sama'ah nafshi le Elohim, for Elohim, le Elohim, le El Chai, le El Chai, 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 yes I, Chai, living, for the living El. Then bringing us here, there's not an expression I say. I say could be supplied in some of the translations, sometimes as italicized, because from the first part of the verse, my soul thirsteth for Elohim, for El Chai, when shall I come and appear before Elohim? I say this because of the thirst, the thirst. So this here in the Hebrew reading of it, that sense of my soul thirsteth for Elohim, for El Chai, I say, when shall I come and appear before Elohim? Matay abo ve'era'eh b'nei Elohim. That sense of I say could be supplied in translation for stylistic reasons and for clarification. But from a Hebrew, an intelligent, a wise Hebrew reading reception, you get that sense. So this part is often sometimes listed almost as a quotation, depends on the version. But here's what we like to share right here. When will I go and appear to the face of Elohim? This also must be brought out and can be brought out in the translation from the Hebrew. Ve'era'eh p'nei Elohim. Translators translate and appear before Elohim. When will I go, Matay abo, and appear to the face, and appear to the face, or appear the face of Elohim, appear the face of Elohim. Some now amend the nifal, those who understand and studying the dikduk and the binyanim, the patterns. There's a nifal verb. The nifal verb, right, has a sense of I will appear. I will appear. E-ra-eh. 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 E-ra-eh in we-e-ra-eh b'nei Elohim. I will appear. When shall I come and I will appear before or to the Pnei Elohim, to the face of Elohim. Some amend the nifal verb, era'eh, to the kal verb. And the kal verb is now, I will see. So the nifal sense has, breaking it down from the root sense of seeing, the nifal sense be like appear, to be seen. Where will I be seen? In the face of Elohim. Another way of bringing out the Hebrew. When will I be seen? When will I go and be seen in the face of Elohim? When will I go and be seen in the face of Elohim? Matay abo ve'era'eh p'nei Elohim. When will I go and be seen? So the nifal has that sense of I will appear or I will be seen. So that nifal verb, the era'eh, being amended in the Hebrew to the kal, and the kal is er'eh, I will see, er'eh. So we amend it and say, Matay abo ve'era'eh p'nei Elohim. What do we have? When will I go and see the face of Elohim? When will I go and see the face of Elohim? Matay abo ve'era'eh, er'eh, I will see. I see in the sense of I will see. Er'eh, from the era'eh. Era'eh is I will be seen. Era'eh, I will be seen. This is why the vowels are very important, Hebraically speaking. Era'eh, I will be seen. Er'eh, I will see. Matay abo ve'era'eh p'nei Elohim. When will I go and see the face of Elohim? Where do we have this? We have this in Genesis 33 and 10. Genesis 33 and 10. Here in the Vayishlach Torah portion, Genesis Bereshit 33 and 10. And Yaakov and Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found favor in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For as much as I have seen thy face, as one seeth the face of Elohim, and thou wast pleased with me. So here, Wayomer Yaakov, al na im na matzati chen be'aineka ve'lakachta minachati miyadi ki al kain raiti paneka ki reot pnei Elohim wa tirzeini Watirzeini, and you was pleased. So here's another reference. Here's a kind of a reference with a sense of the amending, because what we have in the Hebrew without the pointings is Waw, Aleph, Resh, Aleph, Hey. We have W-A-R-A-H. And now to bring out either the sense is the sense here, when will I come, or when will I, in the Hebrew, more abo is go, in that sense, go, like enter in. When will I enter in? Bo, right? So we have Matai Abo, when will I go? With Era'eh, and be seen, Pnei Elohim, and be seen to say to appear in the presence of Elohim, or when will I go and be seen in the face of Elohim, or Matai Abo, when will I go with Era'eh, and see Pnei Elohim, and see the face, the presence of Elohim. So this is one thing to bring out here, and the connection of what Yaakov says right here. And now Jacob said, Why Yomer Yaakov? Nay, nah, I pray thee, if now I have found favor in thy sight. Why Yomer Yaakov? Al na, im na, matzati chen be'aineka, then receive my present at my hand. Wilakachta minchati miyadi, for as much as I have seen thy face. Ki al kain raiti apaneka, as one seeth the face of Elohim. Ki reot, kirot, ki reot pnei Elohim, as one that seeth the face. Ki reot, ki as reot, reot, to see, seeing, to see. Ki reot pnei Elohim, and thou wast pleased with me. Wa tilzani, tilzani, please with me. Wa tilzani, and please with ani. So here, another connection, just bringing out this sense. So the Nephil can be retained if one understands what's known as the eight, the Aleph Tau, the eight before face. Right? So the Nephil form that it usually is brought out can be maintained, but usually there will be a direct object marker. This is what is being said. Usually there would be a direct object marker, that eight right there, and it's important, to recognize that eight there, and a couple of reference verses given here is Exodus 34:24. So let's go to 34:24 right here. Exodus 34:24. So here we're getting to Exodus, just to look at all the references, so we can get a good groundation right here on the Hebraic sense. So 34:24. Give me one moment. Here we're 34:24. Here's what it reads right here. It says, "For I will cast." Now this is on the ellipsis of eight, and the eight is direct subject marker. "For I will cast out nations before thee, enlarge thy borders, neither shall any man covet thy land, when thou goest up to appear." See the sense? When thou goest up to appear before Yahweh Eloheka, before he who be thy power, 3 times in the year. So here is Shemot, Exodus 24, verse 34, Exodus 34, verse 24, Exodus 34:24, and it reads, Ki orisha goyim mipaneka, v'hirahabti et gebuleka, v'lo yachmod ish et arzeka, ba eloteka le raot et, there's an et, le raot et, right? Le raot, to appear, le raot et pnei Yahweh, before the face of he who be, Eloheka, the I Elohim, shalosh pe'amim bashana, shalosh, 3 times bashana, 3 times in the year. So this connection even right here with today's psalm, a lament of an exile, one who for whatever reason was not able or precluded from going to the Heikal, going to the place that he has set to Hashem, his name, the temple, and appearing. We have in Exodus 34:24, Ki orisha goyima mipaneka we hirachabtia eta gebuleka we lo yachmod isha eta arzeka ba eloteka le raot eta pnei Elohim eta pnei Yahweh Elohim shalosha pe'amima bashana. So here, bringing out this verse, for I will cast out nations before thee, ki orish goyi mipaneka, cast out nation before thee, and enlarge thy borders, with hirachabti eta gebuleka, neither shall any man covet thy land, with lo Yachmod, Tahamad, Hamad to covet, Yachmod, Ish, et Arzeka, Aritzika, et. This is direct subject marker. The ellipsis, et. Right? Covet what? It says, Willo yachmod. And no coveting ish, man, et. Pointing now to what that won't covet. Aritzika. The I, male land. Ba elotika, in your going up, in your alien up, alia. Ba elotika, in the I, male, alien up. Le raot, to do what? What is the alot for? Ba elotika, le raot, to appear where? Etapene. So the et is not found here in today's psalm. So not getting too technical there, but just showing the relationship of the Hebrew with the meaning, right? Ba elotika le raot etapene Yahuwah Eloheika shalosha pe'amim bashana. So no man will covet thy land when thou goest up, when thou alliest up to appear. Ba elotika le raot, before the face, appear where? Etapene, before the face of Yahuwah Eloheika, he who be thy power. When? Shalosh, 3, pa-amim, 3 times bashana, 3 times, shalosh pa-amim, bashana, 3 times in a year. And then we have just one more, Deuteronomy 31:11. So we have 2 senses that this verse here in today's psalm may be read, right? May be read right here. The sense that we have in translation, when shall I come, should be when shall I go and be seen before Elohim. But it's written as when shall I come and appear before God. So here, looking at the second point of reference, we have Deuteronomy 31:11. Deuteronomy 31:11. Here we go right here. When all Israel is come to appear before Yahuwah Eloheka, Jehovah thy Elohim, in the place that he shall choose. Thou shalt read this law, read this Torah, this law, before all Israel, called Yisrael, in their hearing. So thus also the tribe and the tradition of the Torah readings and feeding. Some call it the weekly Torah portion, the reading and the feeding, the manna. So here in Deuteronomy 31, verse 11. Bibo, so you got bo again. Bibo, matai, abo, when shall abo, I come. Here it has bibo, call Yisrael, le raota eta pene Yahuwah Eloheka, ba makom, asher yivachar, tikara, eta haTorah hazot, neged, call Yisrael, be'aznehem. Be'aznehem in their hearing, to almost say like in their ears, in their hearing, in their ears. So here it says, when all Yisrael, Bibo, in going, when all Israel goes to appear. Bibo, call Yisrael, le raot. So the pointing here in today's psalm is we'era'eh. And in the sense of appearing in the Hebrew, we have le raot, to appear. Bibo, call Yisrael, le raot, et. There's the et. That's why it says that if one understands the nifal can be retained. The nifal is the one that we have here, we'era'eh. The qal of it will be er'eh. I will see. While we have era'eh, I will be seen. The nifal, I will be seen. Era'eh, like the action upon one, like not one doing the action. Era'eh. So the era'eh can be maintained if one understands the et before face. We don't have the et before face here in today's psalm. Mizmor main beit in the manuscripts. It says Mataya bo we'era'eh pnei Elohim. It should have Mataya bo we'era'eh et pnei Elohim. We'era'eh et pnei Elohim. So if one understands that, this is why they gave these verses as reference. Exodus 34:24, which speaks of le'ra'ot, appearing, et pnei Yahuwah Eloheinu, and here in Devarim, Deuteronomy 31:11, when all Israel is come to appear before Jehovah thy Elohim in the place that he shall choose. More better translation, Bibo, call Yisrael. Bibo, in going, when all Israel goes to appear. Bebo kol Yisrael leraot. Etapene, before the face, Yahuwah, Jehovah Eloheka, the I, male Elohim, Bamakom, Bamakom, Ba in Makom, in the spot, in the place, the Makom. Asher, that which, Yibchar, some say Yibchar, Bahar, choose. The place he choose, Yibchar, Tikra, the Tikra here, speaking directly to Moshe, Tikra, thou shalt read, Tikra eta ha-Torah hazot, Tikra, you will kara, you will read, you recite. Tikra et, again, we have the ellipsis, direct object marker, you read what? Tikra what? Tikra eta ha-Torah hazot, you will Tikra ha-Torah, the Torah hazot, this Torah, the Torah, the this, ha-Torah hazot, neged, before, like opposite, like face to face, opposite, before, neged call Yisrael, before all Israel, be'aznehem, in their ears, in their hearing, hear. This is why this law, according to the Rebbanim, the Memheran, the book of Deuteronomy, the Sefer HaDebarim, was only read, they say, in public by the king on this occasion, by the king. So that the book of Deuteronomy was read even from ancient times, according to the ancient record, by Hamelech, by the Negus, even Negus and Neges, by the king, on this particular occasion being spoken of here in Wayelech, in Wayelech, right, here in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 11. So we have two possible interesting readings right here. So here's what we did. We said, well, let's look at the Metzav Kedus of Negus and Neges. And let's see what the Metzav Kedus of Negus and Neges, what it reads here. Because many times, have clarified some possible ancient differences in how things have come down to us right now, and we ask which one. But one thing is good to know is concerning the vowels, that there are more vowels. Some of the Israelites tell you about Hebrew Israelites about Lashon Kadash. And what they're doing is baby Hebrew, and they're getting stuck on that, the baby Abba, Gada, so forth and so on. That's the basic, but there's more vowels than two vowels. There are these vowels because otherwise you see the same letters. It's the same letters. Era'eh is the same letters as Er'eh, but it's the context. Is it Era'eh, I will be seen, or is it Er'eh? Er'eh, is it I will see? Er'eh, is it I will see, or Era'eh, I will be seen, I will appear. So we gave you two reference verses in Torah from Shemot and Devarim, from Exodus 34:24 and Deuteronomy 31:11, being seen. Right? So here we have Mezmore Dawit Arba'an Bekinfwista Arbahulet, Psalm of David here in the Metzav Kedus in the Salsa here from the parallel Psalms of David, published by Yehuda Moa Anbesa Machiber by the LOJ Society, Line of Judah Society. Get a copy, Chavarim. Here, just to scroll to this part for these first two verses. These first two verses right here. It says, Walla, or the superscription, Lemezemran aleka yekorei lejoch timheret. As he said, the maskil in the Hebrew and even the KJV, the maskil, which is a kine, is brought out as a timheret in the sense of maskil, therefore from the Hebrew, from sakal, would be instructive of the sons of Korah. Lanatseya maskil libnei Korah, bamarinya, lemezemran aleka yekorei lejoch timheret. Kutaran, verse 1. Wala wada wucha mincha in the minafik abetu, indihu nefse, wada anta tinafkalech. Now it's interesting right here, what we see, Bamarinya, Wala, the heart, hind, the heart in that sense, wada wucha, to the water minch, to the water source in the Hebrew, ifikei mayi, right, in the mi nafik ta'irog, as he, this is as he in the mi nafik. So here we in the Metzav Kedus, the verb has been changed to comply with the noun. While the Hebrew here in the manuscript says ke ayal ta'erog. There amended more better, be consistent, ke ayalet ta'erog. But here it's as though the Metzav Kedus has ke ayal ya'erog. In the mi nafik, ye nafik, in the mi ye nafik, abertu. So here we have abertu, right, for Elohim, my father, his father, father of the house, in the singularity of his powers. Indihu, like this, the Cain nafshi taro. Indihu nefse, wada ante, to the I male, wada ante, corresponding to aleka, tenaf kalech, she. So here the soul, the nefse, is in agreement with the verb te, naf kalech, not ye naf kal, in the sense of in the miya nafik. So there, just going over verse 1 and coming here to verse 2, nefse, wada hiyao amlak titemach, meche itarsalo, yamla kanisa fita meche ayalo, meche. So the meche is somewhat repeated here for emphasis. The meche in the Royal Amharic, the King of Kings Bible, corresponds with the Masoretic Hebrew, matai, meche. So we have nefse, my soul, wada, towards hiyao, the living amlak, the living source, tetemach, she thirsteth. Sama'anaf she lelohim le'el chai. What's interesting right here is that in the Hebrew we have my soul, she thirsteth for Elohim, for the living El. Here by Marinya Nefse, what a hiyao chai, hiyao amla tetemach. Meche darsalo. So here asks the question. It's not, as has been brought out sometime in Hebrew, when shall I come becomes question 1. When shall I actually here in Bamarinya, meche darsalo, when shall I reach? Darsalo, derese, darsan, midrash, meche darsalo, when shall I reach? Matai abo, when shall I go? Matai abo, where? Erae, pene Elohim. Here we have meche darsalo, yamlakenis feet, meche ayalo. Here's the interesting part, yamlakenis, and of my amlak, of my source, feet, face, meche, when? Ayalo, when will I see? The nifal in the Hebrew is era'eh, I will appear, to be seen. Bamarinya in the Metzaf Kedus, the Book of the Seven Seals, the King of Kings Bible, it brings out the sense of er'eh, where some amend the Hebrew and point it differently as er'eh. So even the Royal Amharic, when we compare and contrast, we can check out pointing. So we have er'eh, I will see. Where er'eh pnei Elohim, and see the face of Elohim. Matai abo, when will I go? Where er'eh pnei Elohim, meche darsalo. Yamla knesit, meche ayalo. When will I see? So not so much to be seen here, but to see. And that right there is an ideation of meditation. How do we see? Seeing the Pnei Elohim. How do we see the face of Elohim? The El Chai, the living. Hiyao Amlak. So here, just an opening groundation right here on the Aleph, the Beit, the Gimel. Look more. Yes, I. Rastafari. We have right here, there is the next verse, just a portion of the next verse right here. And this is the verse that reads, my tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all the day, where is thy God? Where is thy Elohim? Haita li dim'ati lechem yomam walayla be'emora elai kol hayom aye Eloheka, where? Aye Eloheka. Eloheka, where is the I, male Elohim? This is what they say to me. So here, in the KJV, this will correspond with the third verse. My tears have been my meat, really food, literally lechem. Lechem is bread. My tears have been my food, lechem, bread, grain, bread, have been my bread. Yomam walayla, yomam days, wa and laila, days and nights. Haita li, to be for me. Haita li, dim'ati, my tears, dim'ati. The anguish of spirit had driven from him, and I, in this lamentation of an exile context, all desire to eat. Haita li, dim'ati lechem, yomam walayla. While they say, be'emor, in saying a lie, in saying to I, a lie, in saying to I, call, all hayom, all the day, in saying to I continually, in Sanctai all the day, literally all the day. Call Hayom. Aye, Eloheka. Aye, Eloheka. Aye, Eloheka. Where is thy Elohim? See, the lamentation here of an exile, Falasha Mora, even I, the Galut, the exile. He and I had been forced to leave I homeland and was dwelling among heathen Goyim, other nationalities. They taunt him, they taunt I with the question, Aye, Eloheka, where is thy Elohim? And this distresses, the distress here in the lamentation distresses him and I because it contains the implication that if he exists, as ones would say, if God exists, if it's God or God exists, blah, blah, blah. If the implication that if he existed, he was powerless, to say that the power of powers is powerless to aid and assist those who had faith and who expressed, and so to live faith and fidelity in him. What do we have here? We have firstly, just to update the KJV at verse 3 of Psalm 42, verse 3, my tears have been my food, days and night. Days and night. Haitali dimati lechem yomam walayla. Yomam, days, walayla, and night. When, say to me all the day. Bringing out the Hebrew force of the Hebrew. When, say to me all day. Be'emore lai kol hayom. Be'emore lai kol hayom. When, say to me. It's not they, but when, say to me. Like when it's said to me. Say like when it's said to me. Be'emor. When it's amar. Amar. Be'emor elai. To I, kol hayom. All the day, call hayom. The suffix third masculine plural pronoun may, some say, have been accidentally omitted from the infinitive. Some say we have be'emor, when say, be'emor, when say. The term be'amram. Note this, even in today's psalm, we have this here. We have this at the 10th verse. In the KJV, when they say, Amram, in Amram, Amram, in them saying, Amram, in them saying, when they say to me. So some say that the third masculine plural pronoun had somehow, that's the Am. So here we have Be'emor, the point as Be'emor. Some say when you look forward to the KJV 10th verse, corresponds to the Hebrew 11th verse, Be'amram. Be'amram Eli kol hayom. Aye. Same question. Aye Elohim. No, aye Eloheka. Aye Eloheka. Where is thy Elohim? Some say that's the Am after the Ram, the third masculine, the suffix, the third masculine plural pronoun. So some say that this shows that maybe a very ancient psalm, maybe words inadvertently, but as we study the Hebrew, understand the sense of the Hebrew, we can even reconstruct these areas, right, where it has the Amram, Be'amram, and Be'emor. But even the force of Be'emor, when say, has its own force, Be'emor elai. So it could also be musical there in the sense of bringing out a heightened sense, not even saying as we have in the 10th verse, Be'amram elai kol hayom, Aye Eloheka. But here, Be'emore lai kol hayom. Aye Eloheka. Where is Aye? Where is your Elohim? Where is the I, male Elohim? So here, today's psalm, the first part of a two-part psalm here, Psalm 42, some of the key verses, opening verses, some of the attention to the pointing, right? The pointing, the tightening or the loosening of the chord, musically speaking, right here. Today's daily psalm, Mizmor Min Beit, Lanatziyach Maskil Ibnei Korach, K'ayal Tarog Alefike, Mayim Ken Nafshi Tarog, Eleka Elohim, Sama Nafshi Lelohim, Le'el Chai, Matayabo, We'er'eh, Pnei Elohim, Hayta Li Dimati Elechem Yomama Walayla, Be'emor Elai, Kol Hayom. Aye Eloheka, 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 Aye Eloheka. Hebrew boy, everything takes time. Hebrew.
If you know me, got respect, yeah. Well, it done no respect.
תהילים ספר שני מזמור מ"ב למנצח משכיל לבני קורח. כאייל תערוג על אפיקי מים, כן נפשי תערוג אליך אלוהים. צמאה נפשי לאלוהים לאל חי, מתי אבוא ואראה פני אלוהים. הייתה לי דמעתי לחם יומם ולילה, באמור אלי כל היום איה אלוהיך. אלה אזכרה ואשפכה עלי נפשי, כי אעבור בסך אתקדם עד בית אלוהים בכל רינה ותודה המון חוגג. מה תשתוכחי נפשי ותהמי עלי, רוחי לי לאלוהים כי עוד עודנו ישועות פניו. אלוהי עלי נפשי תשתוכח, על כן אזכורך מארץ ירדן וחרמונים מהר מצער. תהום אל תהום קורא לכל צינוריך, כל משבריך וגליך עלי יומם יצווה אדוני חסדו, ובלילה שירו עמי תפילה לאל חיי. אומרה לאל סלעי, למה שכחתני, למה קודר אלך בלחץ אויב. ברצח בעצמותי חרפוני צוררי, ואומרם אלי כל היום איה אלוהיך. מה תשתוכחי נפשי ומה תהמי עלי, רוחי לי לאלוהים כי עוד עודנו ישועות פניי ואלוהי.
That the hero lies in you. But it no matter what them all have done, never rock it.
አየነው የሰማንን አወቅነው የዳሰሰንን አገኘነው የአብርሃምን አምላክ የሚያየንን ጌታ ኤል ሮኢምን ኤል ሮኢምን ኤል ሮኢምን ኤል ሮኢምን ኤል ሮኢምን ኤል ሮኢምን
what as they might call of apocalypse, and it was really no different with X-Men Apocalypse. If you remember, you know, you have Elohim, as they might call of Apocalypse, the blue guy in X-Men Apocalypse. If you remember, you know, you have Elohim, as they might call of Apocalypse, the blue guy who was demonized and seen as the bad guy, but he made the most sense. You know, all these weapons, throwing up all these mystical weapons in the air, getting rid of all of this, taking away all that power and just using our own spirituality. That's what I got out of that. You know, because I'm able to look a little deeper into things, but when it comes to guy, know him, Elohim, man, that is plan. All he needs to do is follow the spirit which is legit. That is how we'll all grow. Know him, Elohim, man, that is plan. All he needs to do is follow. Man, that is plan. Man, that is plan. Man.
mighty Elohim. We know that the times are changing. People don't lose their spiritual ways. It's time for Israel to praise their King. Knowing Yahweh is His name. Now carry on and know Him while we're living this way. Living this way. Deliver us from our enemies. Oh, Elohim will sit between the cherubim. Your praises is high in Zion high. Israel can't deny. It's time for Israel to hail their King. Knowing Yahweh is His name. Come on, people, let's show Him. If your voice is sing in Yahshua's name. Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, now, yeah. It's time for the people to love themselves and repent from their dirty ways. Come on, my people, and show Him. Lift your voices and sing in Yahshua's name. Aye, 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 aye. Yeah. Israel praise His holy name. Oh, righteous people now, yeah. Yeah. Give His holy name the praise. It's time for Israel to hail their King. Knowing Yahweh is His name. Come on, my people, and show Him. Lift your voices and sing. Praise His name. Oh yeah. It's time for Israel to hail their King. Knowing Yahweh is His name. Come on, people, let's show Him. If your voices and sing in Yahshua's name.
Kadamawi.
The whole place is due for help.
God bless you. We find your peace are improvable. God bless you for coming to the show tonight. God bless your day.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel? Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians? Are ye not as children of the children of the Ethiop? Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith the Lord.
for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.